You know, it's been very interesting these months that we have been gathering via Zoom to work on the work because each time we've met, we have been making a bit of progress, and then at some point we end up stopping at the same place. And that is, we get sort of tied up in the conversation about how do we actually move this work forward, recognizing that across the diocese, as is across the country, people are, you know, in different places. And so as we have had these conversations, I think that we recognize that there is fear, there is the unknown, but I know that we're all ready, and we're looking to ensure that we bring others along with us.
Yeah, we have gotten to the same place again and again. How would y'all describe what that place either looks like or feels like or sounds like?
I think it's the place that we are talking about is where the hard work starts. I think we get up to this point, we're introducing ourselves, we make promises, but now it is time to take the next step. And that's where the hard work starts. And it could be as difficult as telling our own stories within our committees and having open minds to listen to the other's story and validating that and moving forward with them. But I think it's also is that we realize that we got to go now and do something with this work that we said we're going to do. And it starts in our own circles. It starts in our own congregations. And we know where the stumbling blocks are in those places. And I think we get there and we want to procrastinate and we come back next week, but we realize that this is the point where the rubber meets the road and we got to get moving.
Mm-hmm.
I think something else that plays into it for me is a sense that I need to know more. I need the training. I need the skills. And you know, then I think about the disciples, and they didn't have any special training. And so there's a model for just putting one foot in front of the next, and moving forward. And then if you stumble, then you get back up. But I do think for some of us, needing to get our ducks in a row before we ever take the first step is a hindrance that well, I need to get over anyway.
So the challenge for me seems to be, what is the next step, right? What is it that we need to do next? I feel as if, you know, I've been trying to do my inner work. I've been trying to educate myself. I've been trying to do some reading and, you know, trying to understand things from a different perspective and, you know, trying to understand my place, my privilege, right? Just as being a white person living in a white body and what that means. But then I'm not exactly sure what the next thing is that I need to know to do. And that's kind of where I think maybe, Dwala, that's where I find myself stopping, right? What is that next step? What is that next thing?
One place that that has come up and that I know from the I'll speak from my clergy experience is that when you start talking about something that's very difficult, that's not everyone agrees is even a problem, or believes the problem already has been addressed by virtue of what John mentioned a little while ago, the civil rights movement already happened. That one of the threats that is paralyzing is the threat of creating a division within one's church, and the consequences of that, which generally leads eventually to money and withholding money out of anger, which is the maybe the definition of separation and alienation between one another. But that's money in the life of the church is very difficult to deal with. And how do we stay connected and honest in around hard things that we've never talked about? And that's why it's so hard, because we've never talked about them the way we're trying to now.
one thing that's hard for me is to let go of the idea that I have to bring enlightenment to someone, that I have to show someone something better. I don't. If I can find people who are close enough with my ideas that together we can do something, then together we may help people who don't think the way we do to understand it better. But I'm not David going up against Goliath. Goliath is there, but I got to find other Davids. I've got to make a group and a chain around so that together we face this. And as I make my changes in me, because there is so much that goes on between my ears that's got to be cleaned out and straightened out and refocused, then that can maybe get a little thing going, which can pick up some other little things, which can eventually make a difference.
John, you have anything to add to this?
Yeah, I think just for those that reflect on trying to confront racism, sometimes it can just seem daunting, that it can seem so pervasive and intractable that where would you even start? Where would one person start? Where would a small group start? Where would a smaller denomination like the Episcopal Church even start? I mean, this is centuries in the making. And I think sort of, in the broadest view, if it's something that humans made up and continue to make and remake over time, it's something they can actually unmake as well. It's not, this hasn't always existed. It didn't fall out of the sky. People made it up and sustain it, and they can unmake it.
That feels really hopeful and helpful.
It does.
Yeah.
I think that is an excellent